So there's quite a history. I'd say probably 13 years, 12 years of history. I was introduced to spoken word in probably 2012 at an event in Toronto and was so excited about it and really wanted to make sure this is something our students would have an opportunity to experience and do themselves. But it really wasn't until Dwayne approached us to say, I've got an idea, I've got a program, I'd love to test it out here in York Region, I'd love to work with your students year-round.
I was trying to get it into a bunch of different boards, and this was the first board that there was any kind of traction. And I think a lot of that can be tied to, Superintendent Roach, because he had a love for poetry and he wrote poetry, so he understood the power that poetry potentially has for young people. So he was able to, sign off on that first year to let's try this out. And it was amazing to see, how the young people responded, how the teachers responded, and just how they embraced this opportunity to speak and to share and to give their take on the world that we live in.
As I look back, first of all, I am so delighted that it has lasted this long. But I sort of knew it would last this long because the way I look at poetry, because poetry is not just language, it's not just tone and tenor. It's also about a reflection of your soul, a reflection of who you are, your true self. And I felt that the notion of a spoken word in the YRDSB would be a great idea. Initially, we thought we'd start with a couple of high school and restrict it to high school. But I have to say the elementary folks pushed to have elementary students involved as well. And I could remember the first slams that we did, especially the finals, I was blown away completely by the elementary school kids and how incredible they were, how their voice were so strong, how their ideas were just so relevant and so much about who they are and what their life is like in school and so on.
So, when I do workshops, I don't necessarily have a message that I want to give to the kids outside of understanding that A, everybody has a story, and B, your story matters. And if I can empower them to be like, yeah, you know what, there's some value in these things that I experience, then it allows them to figure out how to navigate those things, how to deal with those things, how to approach those things, because it's not just, oh, the world is against me, but even in the negativity of the world, you could be like, well, what's the lesson? What can I take from this? How can I use this to empower somebody else?
Dwayne Morgan came to our school today. We were thrilled to have him here because it's his 10+ 2-year anniversary partnering with York Region District School Board. And he did come to coach a group of students that are going to the competition in March along their way and their journey with spoken word.
We have done some wonderful things with the students. Me in particular, I've done a lot of one-on-one work where I try to help build students' confidence, students' resiliency, try to lend voice to those students who are a little bit perhaps more reserved, and to sort of figure out who they are as individuals.
The YRDSB Poetry Slam competition has been a lifeline for me. I remember when I was much younger, I used to be extremely shy and I didn't really want to open up to people, much less present something in front of a group of strangers. I didn't like public speaking until I found spoken word poetry, and I think it changed the trajectory of my life. I know that might sound cheesy, but it really did, and I think it opened up so many more doors for me. And outside of that, just as a person, I feel so much more self-assured and confident in who I am, and knowing that what I have to say is important, I think has been such a crucial thing in my life.
So what I think about is what is really important to me and close to my heart. And then when I write it, I just think about something close to me and then speak it, like I'm having a conversation with someone.
My creative process, well, first of all, I started thinking about like what really inspires me and what really like makes me who I am. But like at first I couldn't really come to it at first. But after looking at other people's poems and I really just looked for what's within and just spoke truly from the heart.
I'm really passionate about writing, on how powerful it is to give out your words to the audience and share your perspective and your thoughts.
The challenge when creating the poem was speaking it, finding the right tone of expressing or giving a few sentences with feeling. I think I overcame that by less thinking
how the audience would enjoy expression, but more thinking to speak from my heart.
Getting to express things that maybe people don't normally talk about, and like my being able to write about them when maybe it's not something I'm more comfortable sitting down and having a conversation with, but I get to present it in that way. I kind of like expressing myself that way.
You get to understand other people's perspectives of different situations, and also like bond with people.
So we've been writing for a really long time, and this is one of the clubs at our school and teams at our school that really caters towards that. When we saw that this was going to be a thing, we were like, this is exactly right for us. Let's do it.
I was like, it's our last year, why not? Let's give it a shot.
Definitely when we see, let's say, things that we see within the news, a lot of students' writing tend to reflect the things that they see within the news, but then also it tends to reflect a lot of the things that they have going on within their own lives as well too. So they'll talk about their families, they'll talk about their relationships as well.
And by doing that, they're pushing forward their own knowledge and cognitive skills and perspective on the world around them, and communicating that confidently. But not only that, but also challenging their own comfort levels is an important skill in life, because risks, rewards go hand in hand, and without the risk, there is no reward.
There's lots of different opportunities and ways in which we can go with this. Right now we're trying to collect poems and pieces from students to create a publication that can be shared. And I think already, I keep in touch with a lot of students who've participated over the years, and as they've gone on to university and beyond. There's a lot of young people, adults out there now who have always supported this. And the hope is to kind of keep in touch, have a bit of an alumni, and have them come back, as we did with Hannah coming back to the 10th anniversary celebration. And so just keep looking for different avenues to really grow this into, so it's maybe possible for all students to have that opportunity across YRDSB.